Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. Today, we are going to be on the map Ice and Chrome for map number 1. However, it is going to be a best of 3 between two of my favorite old boys in the top right-hand side of the map, and I'm going to straight up say it. He's my favorite old boy. It's Liquid TaeJa. And in the bottom left-hand side of the map, another one of my favorite old boys. It's Afreeca Freaks DongRaeGu. Or at least Afreeca Starcraft 2. I believe that's the team name at the minute. And TaeJa, in TaeJa fashion, is just going to be wasting no time in this Alima League best of 3. He's going to be throwing down his proxy double barracks. It seems that DongRaeGu's maybe sniffed this out, though. He's got an overlord, and it's moving north. And oh man, it's queued to... Oh, it changes direction. It's maybe not going to be spotted. You gotta love TaeJa, man. If you watch like any of his TvZ series, the proxy barracks is definitely a given for him. The overlord, though, not going to be heading the right way to spot this, which is quite unfortunate for DongRaeGu. A proxy 2-Rax can kill any Zerg if they don't scout for it. Some players are known to do it a lot. And even the best pro Zergs will be like, oh man, what am I supposed to do? It's just always there, always lurking. The threat of a proxy barracks. So we see these two barracks finishing up. But ladies and gentlemen, for a best of 3 between TaeJa and DongRaeGu, can we try and hit 50 likes on this video? That would be absolutely awesome. We see in comes the first SCV, however there's no overlord in position for DongRaeGu to scout this out. So this is actually looking really promising for TaeJa. The fact that this hasn't been scouted out at all. The hatchery finishes, and that's going to be DongRaeGu's first glimpse at these bunkers. He's going to say, oh no. So far, I'm not sure what DongRaeGu should do. He starts up a spine crawler, which I like, but he's got such a delayed scout on this. He's going to have 4 lings popping, but there's already 3 marines out. There's already bunkers out in range of the hatchery. It's going to be a hard save to keep this hatchery alive. Behind this, TaeJa is probably just thinking, right, I'm going to kill this hatchery, and then I'm just going to be able to macro freely behind it. DongRaeGu taking a lot of shots on this. He's making a lot of Zerglings, though. He's going to be able to move this spine crawler forward, maybe try and break these bunkers. It's not going to be easy, though. Spine crawler is going to start moving forward, get in range of these bunkers, start dealing damage to it. However, the hatchery is already almost dead, and so I'm pretty sure that's just guaranteed to fall. As a matter of fact, the spine crawler working away in this bunker. DongRaeGu going to go ahead and lose that bunker. He's going to try and break these anyway, even though the hatch is gone. The bunker is filled with marines that are putting out so much damage on what DongRaeGu has. He's trying to break them, but he's lost drones in the process. He lost a lot of lings. Yeah, 4 drones, 13 dead lings, and a hatchery gone is putting DongRaeGu into a very rough spot. He's going to have to reposition the spine, get it onto that creep tumor he managed to plant down at the last second. But behind this, look at this, TaeJa, he's already getting up a reactor, he's getting up a starport. And I'm not sure what DongRaeGu can do at this point in the game. I mean, TaeJa might have just cheesed out DongRaeGu, who has got all this hype behind him for his comeback. We see DongRaeGu's going to try and replant the hatchery, but TaeJa is going to step forward with his marines. He's going to be able to cancel the hatchery once again. He's still got this bunker to be his anchor, a good chunk of marines too. Now, DongRaeGu is going to be working away on this reactor, but TaeJa can just pull SCVs and start repairing this. And all he's got to do is wait a second for these couple of Hellions to get out, and it's just impossible for the Zerg player to break this position. As long as TaeJa repairs, oh no, TaeJa, what are you doing? He didn't repair the reactor. What was he paying attention to? The answer was not where he needed to be. DongRaeGu gets his lings into TaeJa's base. What a colossal mistake from the Terran player who was looking so promising to cheese DongRaeGu out. He's got one Hellion that died, another's about to pop out, but this put TaeJa in such a rough position. More lings are coming in for DongRaeGu. TaeJa was not ready for it. The lings are gonna spill in, and oh my god, what a throw from TaeJa. I think he had DongRaeGu dead to rights, but that is exactly why the Zerg just keeps attacking that wall, even though there's very little chance DongRaeGu is gonna get in. TaeJa let him in, and that's a huge, huge mistake from TaeJa. There's no way around it. He's down to 9 workers compared to the 16 of DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu's been rebuilding his hatchery. Oh my god, that is actually just such a shame for TaeJa. I'm not gonna say he's dead yet because of mules, but he's gone from a very commanding position to a not so great one. He's gotta now try and deal with these couple of lings. He's trying to get up his worker count again, but he's probably going to lose at least a couple more SCVs. And oh man, what a mistake from TaeJa. He's got to be kicking himself after that. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. This is what hurts me as a TaeJa fan. Ay. Anyway, DongRaeGu behind this is just happily macroing up, getting up his 3rd base. GG gets called. TaeJa knows that it's over. And he could have been up 1-0 in this series. Instead, he is now down 0-1. Okay, TaeJa, I don't know if my heart can take something like that again, so please do not make another mistake like that. That was a painful one to watch, that's for sure. So here we are on the map, Pillars of Gold. In the top right, we have got TaeJa. In the bottom left, we've got DongRaeGu. DRG rocking that classic hatchery skin. Taking a look though, TaeJa is not gonna be proxying once again. That was such a painful move from TaeJa. Like, my guy, why'd you do that? Oh well. It's just funny. Things like that happen from bronze to the highest pro level. Now we take a look, there's a barracks on the way for TaeJa, where it belongs. There's his gas, a normal opening. DRG getting up his hatchery. All that good jazz. And DRG is scouting out with his overlord. It's not beyond TaeJa to proxy a barracks twice, or to proxy 2 barracks twice, I guess. And this game, though, he's not going to be doing it. It usually is like at least a once in a TvZ thing for TaeJa, but not twice. He's not that predictable. I figure I should note, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that these replays on the channel that I've been casting in a lot of the pro games, particularly featuring the Koreans, are matches from the Ultima League, which is an awesome Korean Starcraft 2 tournament that runs every week. It's been going for, I think it's 200 weeks now, which was their recent big milestone. And yeah, I just want to say that you can consider checking that out. They've got a patron and all that jazz. I get to go over these pro replays, share them on the channel, which is awesome that they let me do that. And then, of course, if you guys want to get the replays too, to study them and support one of the longest running Korean StarCraft 2 tournaments, you can do that. And it should be linked in the description. Now we take a look. There's the Reaper moving out for TaeJa. He's got the Marine follow-up, the factory coming up after that. Everything's looking up to standard. Now, DongRaeGu is going to be looking to take his 3rd base. The Reaper for TaeJa, though, is not going to be hunting that drone, is going to be heading into the natural. Say, hey, DongRaeGu, how's it going? Throws down a grenade, hits a drone or 2. Not likely to get a drone kill, though. It does happen at the highest pro level, but it's probably not going to happen with someone like DongRaeGu, who seems to be really switched on at the minute. The Reaper for TaeJa, throwing a grenade at that queen, just kind of like a rude grenade. I mean, the KD8 charge doesn't actually deal too much damage. Actually, it's just like a, hey, you. I'm throwing a grenade at you. That's what I think of you, says the Reaper. Even though it does only like 5 damage to the queen. Okay, DongRaeGu gonna be getting up pneumatized Carapace already, which is cool to see. Not wanting to be blindsided by anything from the Terran, which I really like. You can't put it past someone like TaeJa not to be sneaky. And TaeJa is actually going to be going for a more greedy build, getting up his 3rd command center very, very quickly. This is almost done before he started building his Hellions. So actually just the greediest, quickest 3rd CC play that you can go for as a Terran. That's why the Reaper Scout's so important, to make sure that DongRaeGu isn't switching on the aggression. DongRaeGu, though, will scout this. He's got his Overlord moving in, and all of a sudden, it's like a cat at 2 a.m. at night. It's got a case of the zoomies. It's just going to start running around TaeJa's house, and there's not much you can do to stop it. And so the Overlord, like Patrick Stewart, has seen absolutely everything. And yeah, DongRaeGu knows what's not gonna be coming his way, which is like crazy cheese. And then just already spotted the fact that it was even Stimpack on the way too, which is a real nice scout. This Viking is going to be moving out on the map though, will find one of these Overlords, which is a really good find for TaeJa, seeing as how these speedy boys could have just zoomed off, but not expecting the Overlord, I guess, will cost that or not expecting the Viking, pardon me, will cost that Overlord its life. Supply blocks DongRaeGu just a little bit. DRG has to fire up another Overlord immediately after. And we do see DongRaeGu throws up double evos. He's just building a lot of drones right now because he does know that TaeJa is basically just focusing on his economy hard. And so DongRaeGu is going to do the same. If we take a look, DRG up at 50 drones, going to be able to keep making these. TaeJa already landed his third base, so going very, very economically focused. And yeah, it does go to show though how important DRG getting that pneumatized carapace, or at the very least getting that scout off, was. He could have been expecting damage if he hadn't invested into that, because TaeJa would have been able to deny the Overlord scouts with his Marines or with the Viking that he built. And then if you're the Zerg who's in the dark against a Terran who's gone for a fast third CC, you're like, oh, there could be an attack coming, so I gotta be ready. But DongRaeGu, he knew that there wasn't going to be a super serious attack coming, so he's just been droning to counteract TaeJa's own economy investment. We do see, though, that TaeJa, off the back of his 3cc play, is going to have a very strong economy, already getting up into his 4th and 5th barracks by the 6-minute mark. He's going to be able to have very constant production off that. He's starting to fully saturate his 3rd base. That's going to be there in a minute or two. And then just, yeah, 1-1 upgrades on the way for both players. TaeJa going to be able to start making medivacs and all that good stuff and put pressure on DongRaeGu. I really like this opening because I think it's going to lead us into a really good TvZ. DRG is looking to establish his 4th base. TaeJa is maybe going to be looking to shut that down. Although, with just this first drop, he's probably not going to get too much done. He just moves forward. He's going to scan, start cleaning up some creep tumors. Bringing the Hellions in with this, I really, really like. Forcing that creep back, the Hellions help deal with the Lings, but DongRaeGu does have a lot of Lings. He's got some Banelings out. I do enjoy the fact that he's built such a significant number of units. He's not trying to walk the line too finely. He's got more than enough Lings and Banelings to push that drop away. TaeJa, though, is going to keep making units. He's got tank production starting to roll in. He's got his 1-1 about to finish up, along with his armory, so he can go right into his 2-2. Which is good, seeing as how DongRaeGu's already got his 2-2 on the way as well. Spire's on the way for DongRaeGu too, which is quite scary for TaeJa, seeing as how DRG, I'd say, is one of the best Muta players in the world right now, if not the best Muta player in the world. In comes TaeJa. He's going to be moving in. He's got tanks, Hellbats with his army this time, starting to put a bit more pressure. This attack could potentially get something done. He's moving forward with his tanks, cleaning up some creep, but at the same time, DongRaeGu's got himself a very nice counterattack to TaeJa's 3rd base, going to completely take the wind out of TaeJa's sails. TaeJa was planning on going for a big attack. Instead, he's got to completely pull home to defend, so I really like that from DongRaeGu. This kind of changes how TaeJa plays this game. He throws up a 4th CC, realizing, right, my window to kill the Zerg has probably completely gone away with that counterattack, and so he just throws up an extra factory. He's got that 4th base building. At the same time, though, the Lings come in. They're going to potentially cancel or kill this base. Looks like it's not going to be either. It stays alive, but DongRaeGu, pardon me for missing that, actually just rolls on in for an attack. I don't usually rewind, but I did not expect a full frontal attack from DongRaeGu at that point. Pardon me. Yeah, we see TaeJa's got some of his units here. In come the Lings, and in comes the DongRaeGu too with a lot of Banelings. TaeJa not paying attention, or actually is paying attention, but still not able to react quick enough. Banelings and the Lings still forward. Pretty good micro from TaeJa, but in the end, still a little bit scary. Yeah, okay. Good to see TaeJa was actually paying attention there. I just saw a bunch of red on the ramp and was like, oh no. TaeJa keeps his building 4th base alive. He's killed a good portion of DongRaeGu's army, so he's able to move out onto the map. Now, the game is going to keep moving forward here, though, if we do take a look. Mutas are on the way for DongRaeGu, and that's going to be a very scary tool for him to use. TaeJa's coming forward, though. He's got Marines and tanks. He's going to be looking to put pressure on the fourth base of the Zerg. Can DongRaeGu hold on against this? We shall see. It's mainly a Marine army for TaeJa. However, as long as he's pre-split, he can get a lot of value out of these guys. But in comes DongRaeGu. He's going to be looking to attack into the siege tanks. TaeJa's going to have to split his Marines back as well as he can. He is still technically standing on creep, though. So those Banelings do get connections really quick, and DongRaeGu has finished up another round of Banelings, so that should be enough to dislodge this attack from TaeJa. More Banes rolling forward. TaeJa has to split apart. This makes his army more vulnerable to the Mutas as they pick off single Marines here and there, and TaeJa is going to be completely repelled by DongRaeGu all the way back across the map, Pillars of Gold. And the Terran player is falling in supply. The Zerg player has been able to hold on to his fourth base. Such a critical move from the Zerg. He's getting up his fifth base. Infestation Pit starts in this moment of calm after that fight. And that's going to allow DongRaeGu to eventually get to a hive, get 3-3 going. And at the same time, he's just going to be growing his Mutalisk count, which is so terrifying for TaeJa, because DongRaeGu has got fantastic Mutalisk control. 3-3 is now on the way for TaeJa, so he's going to be building up towards that strong bio army, which can always make anything happen. And TaeJa is one of those guys who's got the magic control. He's got that magic tenacity, which he'll be able to keep pushing with mines, Thors, Marines, and just make magic happen. So he's very good at that. However, against DongRaeGu's counterattacks with Mutas and Lings, it will be tough for TaeJa to keep things together, I feel. We see DongRaeGu, though, oh man, totally making me look like a bit of a jerk there for talking about his Muta control and then just losing a couple of them. But he does react quickly, though. Losing one or two Mutas is unfortunate, however, that could have been a lot worse. TaeJa going to be going for a single Marine drop. Single Medivac Marine drop. I don't expect this to get too much done, just the nature of the way the Zerg spread out. He's got creep, so the drop really can't be a surprise. And oh, speaking of drops, we actually see DongRaeGu going to be moving in with some Banelings and a Ling. TaeJa spots this, is going to try and intercept this and should be able to. He doesn't even have too many SCVs in his main anyway. So it's not like that would have been super huge losses, but really nice of TaeJa to shut that down. It's one less thing that he's got to deal with in a couple of seconds. Taking a look, we have got TaeJa almost maxed out. DongRaeGu almost maxed out at a very high drone count. However, the Zerg, once they're maxed out, doesn't necessarily mean they're done producing, as they can keep making more and more Banelings, which I'd like to see DongRaeGu do, just as long as he's got a second to breathe. TaeJa's army is looking alright. I mean, it's nothing amazing, though. It's very Marine heavy, which against a high Baneling count of DongRaeGu will be tough to deal with, and so that's why I want to see DongRaeGu keep making these Banelings. Because at some point, you just get enough Banelings that you can beat pretty much any army. Okay, we take a look. The Thors, the Marines, going to be moving on in. All the while, the Mutas are back at TaeJa's side of the map, going to be getting some good damage done. TaeJa's trying to get set up, going to be hitting towards the fifth base, all the while his main base is taking a lot of damage and being rather compromised. As a matter of fact, Banelings rolling in towards the third. The Widowmines were baited out. These SCVs are in trouble, though. TaeJa taking huge economic hits. His entire army is out across the map. He doesn't have the production to deal with these Mutas, which are just getting obscene amounts of value. We see TaeJa's Marines coming on in. They want to try and pick off that base. If they can get that, that would really even up the damage. For now, though, he's got to run away from the Banelings of his opponent. However, just take a look at this, though. The Mutas are just dealing so much damage. TaeJa's getting up a Widowmine. It's going to kill off one or two of the Mutts, but they're just sitting on top of the production. TaeJa is being completely destabilized by this. He's trying to make the attack happen at DongRaeGu's base, and he's doing a pretty darn good job of it, saving his Marines, loading his units up into his medivacs. He's now going to drop at the back of this base. If he can snipe this base of DongRaeGu, that would be really good for TaeJa, but there's simply too much Zerg on the ground, and TaeJa, he's compromised back at home with his production. He simply doesn't have too much to deal with this. DongRaeGu's now controlling the Mutas once more, dodging away from those Widowmines, and look at this, TaeJa, he's made so many units, but they've just rallied out to their death. This is what Mutas do They completely compromise the Terran's production, and this is why they can be such a pain to deal with. TaeJa, he's got a lot of Marauders on the ground, but those aren't really helping out. He's got some Widow Mines, which get good connections on the mutas, but if we do take a look, DongRaeGu, he's been on 90 drones still, even building more. He's got Ultras on the way, 3-3 Adrenal Glands, getting up even Ultra Speed. Yeah, it's not looking too good for TaeJa. Just the damage on his production really prevented him from remaxing. He could have had a good army still if he had actually kept producing and wasn't just taken out by those mutas, but for now he's in a very, very vulnerable state because he just hasn't been able to make too much. TaeJa is still going to be getting up a 5th base, which I do like to see. He's going to be rebuilding that SCV count a little bit, getting up to 60. So the game is definitely not over yet. I still am very concerned for him, though, because he's up against a Zerg that's almost on 100 drones, which is what DongRaeGu likes to do, and then he can just throw units and units at TaeJa. So I figure after the first attack of DongRaeGu, which should be in just a second here, that there'll probably be another attack just a minute after that, and then another, because DRG is now at that economy, which is going to make life for TaeJa very, very hard. There is a ton of Widow Mines, 6 Widow Mines at this base. However, there's going to be Ultras. Baneling's going to be moving in towards this position. And TaeJa, can he keep this PF alive with the power of Widow Mines? Maybe, as a matter of fact, Godsend Widow Mines give their lives to defend that PF. However, it is unfortunate for TaeJa that they do all die. And we do see DongRaeGu coming in for another attack. Gonna be hitting the 3rd base. TaeJa does lift that off, though. And he should be able to hold on against this attack, I feel. So far, he's kind of defended the first attack on the left. I might have spoken a bit too soon as he eats a bunch of Banelings, and he does lose his 3rd base, so that's actually quite painful for him. That did not go well for TaeJa. Okay, yeah, I mean, he's staying alive, though, which is the goal for TaeJa, but DongRaeGu, he's going to have another attack in just a second here. His bank's growing while he's just coming in and trading. I mean, he's eating some Widow Mines and stuff. He doesn't have that big of an army supply compared to TaeJa, but he's got a lot of Banelings, and that's going to be enough to send the Terran player packing home. TaeJa is pulling back to his Thors, trying to be his anchor point. He doesn't have any Widow Mines to help out with these Banelings, though, and then the Ultras are just going to be able to pick off pretty much everything else. TaeJa loads up into his Medivacs. He's got to try and get back home, but his home is compromised. There's already Lings waiting there for him, so he's going to try and hold on the ramp, but he cannot. GG gets called as DongRaeGu 2-0 TaeJa. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this series between these old boys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord if you want to get updates and talk about Starcraft, Alpha Star, all that stuff. And then if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. You can press that link in the description or use the join button to check out those various perks. This has been LaughNgamez. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.